So J-Lo makes a huge mistake in her reaction to all of the backlash on social media without even realizing this mistake that she made. And so at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about what I would do if I were J-Lo or J-Lo's team. And you let me know if you agree with me, if you think it's a good idea, or maybe you have a better idea. Let me know in the comments. So first things first, let's talk about her reaction. Lopez's This Is Me Now album dropped in February and didn't live up to the singer's standards when it came to the chart. To me, that's not a huge deal. Creators make all kind of content, and some of it's good, some of it ain't good. I can attest because I have a lot of content on TikTok, and if I have 1,000 videos, probably 600 of them are cringe or really awful. Okay, so that's not a big deal, but let's keep going. While a second source tells us that Lopez is quote unquote disappointed over the underwhelming response to her tour and album, a third insider says she's not letting it derail her next ventures. I like that about Jennifer Lopez, that she doesn't let things get in her way. She's a go-getter. She's strong. I love that quality about her. Jennifer is extremely proud of all the hard work she puts into her projects, and Ben Affleck has been a huge support through it all. The third source shares. I think that's incredible for Ben Affleck to do that. We all need someone in our life, be it a partner, or it's really nice when we have that person, right? A family member who, if we are experiencing some type of social ostracism, be it because we're a celebrity or be it because we're at a job, whatever, we have that person who's there to, basically keep us going and inspire us to not allow it to stop us. Okay, so I think that's a good quality for Ben Affleck to have and for their relationship. Absolutely. Okay. It says she really doesn't care what others think, the third insider says of Lopez's reaction to her recent criticism, adding that Affleck, whom she wed in 2022, has been keeping Jen grounded through all the highs and lows. Okay, so that's where her mistake lies to me. Let me just put it like this. If Jennifer Lopez were on stage one day and let's say she tripped and fell and her wig flew off and it landed on the drummer and everyone gasped like, oh my God, and it got all over the news and everyone on social media is poking fun of her and mocking her and, reenacting the fall and the wig flying off and the whole thing. And Jennifer Lopez decided to say, I'm not going to let things bother me. I don't really care what people say about me, right? Yeah, on one hand, you shouldn't really care about what people say about you. Okay, so there's truth in that and there's strength in that. Okay, but at the same time, this is not one of those scenarios where there was just like a mishap on stage. This is a situation where there are many things happening here. So people are saying that, her album was awful and her films were awful, which those things are like, they don't matter to me. But the big issue for me is the way that people are coming out. Multiple people are coming out and saying that Jennifer Lopez is not a nice person. She's really, really nasty. Like she despises, it appears as though, allegedly, this is what people are saying, it appears as though she despises working class people and poor people, okay? And so we're in a time now, and this is the mistake that she's making. I don't think she or her folks realize that we're in a time now where people want to know, what is your emotional intelligence IQ score, if you will? Where is your awareness, your self-awareness? Do you have empathy? I'm a part of that movement. On TikTok, I've been talking about kind of celebrity stuff here lately, just because there's like been problems with empathy and all that kind of stuff that have caught my eye. But normally I talk about like family issues, toxic family, siblings who are toxic and, different types of narcissistic people who lack empathy. Okay. And so I'm trying to spread awareness for that. And so my point is, that's what people are talking about now. And I don't think that Jen or her people are really getting the memo. Like they're not really understanding what's happening here. So this is not an issue you can just say, well, I'm not going to let this bother me. I'm not going to let people affect me. You didn't fall down a flight of stairs at your concert and you're saying, I'm just going to keep moving. No, you are ignoring the people who are making you successful. And that is not something you should ignore. So here's what I would do if I were Jennifer Lopez, or if I was Jennifer Lopez's team. If I were Jennifer, and I might sound crazy, but if I were Jennifer Lopez, first of all, I would authentically really stop and listen to what people are saying, especially the people who came out and said that she was rude to them, serving her in restaurants and that kind of thing. I would really listen to them, really stop and try to put myself in their position, empathy, or put myself in their family's position, right? Or their friend's position, to say, how would I feel? Jennifer Lopez has children. How would I feel if someone came in a restaurant and treated my children the way that I treated multiple people in restaurants in airplanes when I'm sitting in first class, and places where people are, where there are service workers. How did I treat them, and how would I want, or how would I feel if someone treated me or my family that way, right? Then I would seek out, if she doesn't have one, a therapist, or a therapist who really can help her with those types of issues and, really help her strengthen her empathy. And then I would come out and I would say, hey, maybe before or after I got a therapist, and say, hey, I'm really listening to everyone, and I'm going to go get a therapist. And also say, look, I'm not trying to give an excuse of why my behavior was so poor or enable other people to act the same way. But I'm going to say this, unless you are a celebrity, an A-list celebrity, someone with the magnitude of success that I've had, and I would try to word it in a way that didn't sound like I'm bragging, okay? But unless you understand that, it's hard to understand where maybe I'm coming from, but it's easy to become self-absorbed when you are a celebrity, and really even before you become an A-list celebrity, because when you're in the beginning of your career and you're nothing, you're no one, okay, quote unquote, everyone treats you like garbage. People tell you, go get a real job. They don't believe in you. And you have to be so self-absorbed and believe in yourself. If you don't, you're not going to make it a lot of times. Some people who are like actors, even content creators, influencers, whatever, they have absolutely no one to believe in them. When you're not doing good, when it appears as though you're not going to be successful, you're not getting the numbers on your channel or your music or whatever it is, no one believes in you. And you have to be pretty much self-absorbed and delusional, right? I said this in another video, to believe in yourself. And what tends to happen, I'm assuming, because I'm not an A-list celebrity, but I'm giving her a way to go with this. What could happen a lot of times is once you become a celebrity, you start to resent the people who, and even though they're your fans and even they're your audience, right? You start to resent them a little bit because you say to yourself, I know if I didn't make it through all of the blood, sweat, and tears that I had to believe in myself when every one of the people that were around me were kicking me and telling me I wasn't going to be anything. Had I not made it, you would be telling me right now to go get a real job, that I'm delusional, to stop doing that stupid music or stop doing that stupid dancing. You need to go down and work at the post office or get you a real job and become an accountant, right? And so you have this built up resentment. You always have to have a smile. Even when people are abusing you online, you have to come out and have a smile because you have an image to uphold. And then you start to have resentment. And the only kind of people you want to be around are other celebrities or other successful people. And you start to really despise people, even though they're the ones who are making your career. Say something like that, come out and just give an open, honest, just have an open, honest discussion with an interviewer or someone about what it's like to be a celebrity and how, like I said, how easy it is for you to become self-absorbed. Not because you are a bad person, but it's a survival mechanism. What do you think about that? Do you think I'm right? Or do you think J-Lo, should just continue on the path that she's going and say, I'm not worried about anybody. I don't care about what anybody thinks? Because sometimes when you're in a bubble and you have success, right, and you just see the numbers. She's one of those stars. She came from a time where she just looked at the Billboard chart and it said she was number one. She just looked at the numbers and it says she sold 5 million. She didn't really have to grow an audience. In 2000, there was no social media, right, when she was out, in the beginning of her career. And so she didn't have to really have a close relationship with her fans and her audience. She just saw numbers. So she's in a different time now. And I think that it's time for her to really show that she has empathy for the people who make her successful. What do you think? Let me know in the comments what your opinion is.